welcome to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him at gods5minutes@gmail.com. Now, here's Ed Wilson with God's 5 Minutes.
Hello, friends. The church is admonished in Ephesians 5:19 to speak to itself with psalms, hymns, and spiritual singing. A good example of the value it is at from one written by David, the 14th Psalm, which we could probably call the Atheist Psalm. Here are a few verses. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. The Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand and seek God. They are all gone aside. They are altogether become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Harsh words those, fool, corrupt, abominable, none doing good. They should never be pinned on anyone without the greatest cause. So let's take a look at what we have here. Part of the meaning of the word fool is stupid. Stupid in its ancient meaning, which is hit, stunned, amazed, confounded, dizzy. To be made stupid in that sense is to be hit so hard as to lose one's ability to think or react. Associated with the idea of being stupid in the word translated fool is also being wicked or vile. So a person who believes there is no God is someone who has been hit by something so disorienting as to flounder their sense of reason and open the floodgates of evil behavior. The thought only applies to someone who has gone beyond saying blasphemous words and has become convinced in his heart that there is no God, therefore there is no right and wrong, therefore we all may as well live to whatever makes us feel most fulfilled in this life. No living soul can throw away the concept that he or she is a creation of a greater being, to whom we are all accountable, without having corruption follow on the heels of the toss. The root of the word translated corrupt is to be battered, with the result of the battering being marred and especially decayed. Well, it's easy to look at the practices in our troubled world of today and see how far poor sinners have gone in rotting from the morals their grandparents taught. The decay made in this verse is the decay of ethics, of nobility and honor, words that scarcely seem to have meaning in our present culture. There is a strong tide in the world of a spirit that maintains it knows what is best for mankind, which mostly involves breaking down every standard Christianity ever taught, that human wisdom should govern the world, and that any lie, any violence is ultimately justified if it results in the advancement of those diabolical aims. Our Western civilization, in its mad, headlong rush to obliterate the God of the Bible, is rotting about us. Seen that way, it's easy to understand why the next descriptor in the psalmist's list is that those who decide to be atheists tend to follow up their folly with abominable works. And there is another word. The term translated abominable means loathsome, detestable. It's loathsome to call evil good and good evil, to put darkness for light and light for darkness, bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. It is loathsome to maintain a person can deny all the physical evidence of their birth and decide with their mind or passions their gender or race. It is detestable to pretend a child in the womb is only essentially a tumor, but a child born is a human life. It is abominable to worship ecology, things made more than the one who made them. It is loathsome to make pleasure-seeking the highest goal of life, whether seeking to gratify the ego with lofty recognition or to give oneself to sensuality. The next description in the phrase is, there is none that doeth good. What a sad commentary on human understanding. It literally means those who seek to expunge God from their lives so lose the ability to distinguish how we ought to live and behave as to be absolutely incapable of really doing anything that is good. There are so many who have abandoned God and truly believe they are doing service to mankind with their attitudes about the hot buttons of the day, racism, homophobia, licentious behavior, when in fact they follow roads that hasten the decay of the moral fabric about them. God would love to heal their troubled hearts. Have you talked to Him today?
You have been listening to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him by email at godsfiveminutes@gmail.com. Tune in next time to hear more encouraging thoughts from God's Word on God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson.